reading from Act 3, Scene 4. I'm going to read lines 41 to 43, and then I'm going to start with 44, analyzing. I just want to give a little context. So Othello says, "Give me your hand." He takes her hand. "This hand is moist, my lady Desdemona. It yet has felt no age, nor known no sorrow." So then in lines 44, it says, "This argues fruitfulness in liberal heart." So in the Folger's version of Othello, it gives you a list of the words that some of them are referring to. So fruitfulness could mean that it's not going anywhere, that the argument is not producing anything, and that it's just not getting anywhere. And when he's referring to liberal heart, it also says that it means generous, but it also says dissolute, which means loose morals or lax morals. So he could also be referring to as like that's Desdemona's character now. Because he believes that Desdemona is sleeping with Cassio and having an affair with him. So then it continues to say, hot and moist, this hand of yours requires a sequester from liberty, fasting, and prayer. So he begins to sweat. And in these couple lines, you see how he's referring to hands a lot. And then, so he's referring to Desdemona having a sweaty hand. Now he's sweating, and then later on it also talks about that as well. So he says, this hand of yours requires a sequester from liberty, fasting, and prayer. So a sequester would mean hiding or isolation, and I got these references from the OED. So he could be referring to needing space from her. So liberty would mean like freedom, fasting would mean abstaining, and then prayer. So he could be trying to create space between him and Desdemona because of that he feels like she's having an affair with Cassio. So he might feel like he needs to put some space between them so that he's not as hurt as much. And then I also saw that how fasting and prayer coincide, because back then in the religious culture, that's what they did. They abstained from food, and then they would pray to get to wait for an answered prayer or to pray more fervently. So I took that and kind of realized that that's what Othello was trying to do. He was trying to abstain from anything and stay away from Desdemona, so he wasn't gonna have a broken heart, which he ended up having one anyway. And then it continues. It says, much castination, exercise, devout. So here the word castination would mean punishing. So I looked at this as Desdemona is punishing Othello because he believes that she isn't telling the truth and that she is having an affair with Cassio. And then he continues to say, for here's a young and sweating devil here that commonly rebels. So here he would be referring to Desdemona as being a devil and often rebelling, as that she just goes and sleeps with whoever or has an affair with whoever, and doesn't stick to her just being married to Othello and just being with Othello. And then we see the hands. It says, "'Tis a good hand, a frank one." So you see how here frank could also mean open or generous again. So he could be referring to how Desdemona is just open, that she doesn't care, that she's just very loose in who she is, and she doesn't care who she hurts. And I also noticed that in line 53 that he also uses a liberal hand again, and I thought that was interesting how he kept bringing up about hands and